And you know what? That's how God works it out. Which brings me to my second observation. This one's about David. So what about this teenager? You know, I could get like, okay, now God has this teenager in mind. He's going to be the one that solves the problem. And in fact, he has mutant powers, like laser vision or telekinesis. He's going to show up with his superpowers, and he's going to flatten this giant. Or maybe he's like this freak of nature that's been preparing his whole life for this one moment of single combat. Maybe he's got like cardboard silhouettes in his backyard of giants that he practices day in and day out with a sling. And he's like this sharpshooter. Maybe that's the deal. That's why God's prepared. No, that's not really how this goes down. Why is David even there in the first place? Is David the most qualified person? Listen, he's not even a soldier. Check this out. 1 Samuel 17. Listen to this. Now keep in mind how the story ends, right? Verse 17. Now Jesse had said to his son David, take this ephah of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread for your brothers, and hurry to their camp. Take along these 10 cheeses to the commander of their unit. See how your brothers are and bring back some assurance from them. They are with Saul and all the men of Israel in the valley of Elah fighting against the Philistines, which really means like cowering in fear against the Philistines. So why is David even there? Is he this fine-tuned battle machine? Is he a killer? Is he like, Jason Bourne or James Bond? Is he going to show up and just end it like with this awesome flurry of martial arts skills? No. He's got cheese. He's not a killer, he's a cheese carrier. He spends his days with sheep. And sometimes he milks them and makes cheese with it. He might as well be going to the grocery store, balancing his checkbook, reconciling his company sales reports. He might as well be shuttling kids from soccer practice to Future Visitors of America. He might as well be folding laundry. This is an everyday kind of thing. He just happens to be carrying cheese. So he shows up carrying his cheese dutifully. Was it a cheese wheel or a lump or a skin? How do you carry goat cheese? I don't know. But he shows up carrying the cheese. He's not here to do battle. He's not here to fight. He's not here he's not here for any of that. He's on a mission, and his mission happens to be cheese. Which is not a bad mission. So can I just pause for a second and tell you how much I value cheese? It's great. You can put it on anything almost. I mean, I have a theory that you can make any food better with one of 3 ingredients: peanut butter, cheese, or chocolate. In my apocalyptic pantry, that's what you'll find. That's a survival diet. This is a survival kit, people. Allow them to all. And if you want to look like me, just follow my diet. Peanut butter, chocolate, and cheese. It's good stuff, man. So David shows up carrying cheese. He's not a giant killer, he's a cheese carrier. Now we get this too, because so much of our lives is cheese carrying. It's the everyday, day in, day out rhythm of the things that we do. It's not necessarily glamorous. Nobody here in this room is the subject of a reality TV show because it's boring. Nobody signs up for, like Justin TV. Because you wouldn't want to see what I do. It's just, I do what you do. I do the same things you do. I wake up, I brush my teeth, sometimes. You shower, sometimes. You go to work, you do your thing, you come home, you do your thing. We have this rhythm of our life where we carry cheese from one place to the next place. It's what we do, that's who we are. We carry cheese. And we get it. We plan our lives around cheese carrying. We're very committed to cheese carrying. If someone asks you to come over and carry some cheese, you have to check the calendar to see how much cheese you carried earlier before you can come carry cheese at their house. Let me check my cheese date book. We open up the date book and we find out, well, from 5 to 6, I happen to be carrying cheese to the soccer game. And then from 6 to 7, we watch Lost, and then so on and so forth. It's cheese, people. And somewhere in here, David meets God. God shows up. This is this great example of God meeting David with something extraordinary right in the middle of something ordinary. Right in the middle of his routine, right in the middle of this mundane task that doesn't even deserve note in the Bible, God shows up with a giant to kill. And David's like, all right, I'll do it. Now you've got to understand that this whole idea of God's will as this predetermined set of outcomes, this thing that we can't participate in, it's thrown out the window when you start understanding that God here is inviting a boy into his plan to do something extraordinary in the midst of something ordinary. That in the rhythm of David's everyday life, God speaks this invitation and says, here, I've got something big for you. Will you do it? And David